Insulated bulkheads are subject to extreme environmental conditions. We have extreme temperature variations. We also have impacts from material handling equipment. We have load shifts during the route, and we also have high condensation and cleansers that are used on them. The great thing about the Reflex insulated bulkhead from FG Products is the core. First of all, it's very resilient, so I can bend and flex it, I can beat on it, and the core stays intact. Secondly, is that the core is made of a one-piece closed cell foam design. This design will not allow the core to absorb water, and it will not harbor bacteria. The last thing is that it's easily repaired. With the proper tools and equipment, we can eliminate the use of solvent-based adhesives and cleansers that often take 24 hours to dry and may not be able to be done in the environment of the trailer, so we have to take the bulkhead out of service. The proper tools consist of a heat welding gun. Here I have a Leicester Triac S, something we prefer. We also use a 20mm wide angled tip and a 40 to 45mm wide silicone roller. Once you have the tools for the job, you're going to need materials. You can order from FG Products rolls of vinyl, seal replacement kits that also include the compression foam, sections of armor ply material, or anything that you need to fit your application. Before we use the heat gun, I want to take a moment to talk about safety. First off, always wear your personal protection equipment. I have on safety glasses. Secondly, this gun gets extremely hot, in excess of 600-700 degrees, so we want to be careful about burns, not only to surfaces, but also to yourself. And third, it's an electrical item, so I advise you not to use it in wet locations. Now we'll move on to operating the gun. Before we operate it, we want to make sure we read the instructions that come with it. Every gun is just a little bit different. The Leicester Triac S that we use has an on switch and a temperature dial. We're going to want to turn that on, set our temperature, and allow it to warm up for a period of time before thermally welding any vinyl. When we're done with it, we're going to turn it all the way back down to 0 and let it cool off for at least 5 minutes before turning the switch off. Before we show you some common repairs to our bulkheads, we want to have a little practice session first with the heat gun. So the first thing we're going to want to do is hold the vinyl down against the bulkhead with the roller. He's going to fold it over a little bit so that we can get the tip underneath there. We're going to direct the air right at the base of the roller, and we're going to roll out as we apply the hot air and the heat. We want the proper combination of heat and speed. If I go too fast heat welding, we do not get a bond. If we go too slow, we can actually burn the material. Okay? Now if we do it properly and have the correct balance of heat and speed, we actually thermally weld the plastics together, and when peeled apart, you'll see we're leaving traces of the orange melted to the black. One of the most common types of damage comes from material handling equipment causing cuts or punctures in the face of the bulkhead. So what you want to do is cut a piece of material to fit the application or to fit the patch, and then heat weld it using the techniques we've showed you to the surface of the bulkhead. Another common injury to an insulated bulkhead is to the seals or the compression seals along the side. This bulkhead is damaged here, so what we want to do is replace a section of that compression seal. The first thing to do is to cut away the damaged portion. We'll then take another section of foam, a new section, and put it into that spot. And we're going to then cover it with vinyl. If you're just one person and the section is long, you may want to hold it in place with a staple. So now we've flipped the bulkhead over to continue heat sealing on the back side. I want to draw special attention to the base of our product where we have our Armor Ply flexible impact liner. This liner will not allow us to heat weld vinyl to it. So if we have a damaged seal here, we want to make sure to leave enough vinyl so that we can heat weld a new section on. Once we flip the bulkhead over, you may want to trim the vinyl if it's a little long. Another area of damage to the bulkhead is the hinge. You may need to repair or replace a hinge on a bulkhead. It has come to our attention that at times the bulkhead halves are actually cut apart. So I have here a sample of a hinged bulkhead that we can show you how to repair or replace the hinge on. Okay, as you can see, we've cut the two halves of the bulkhead apart. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is lay them face up. And in this case, we're going to be heat welding between Armor Ply reinforcement strips a section of vinyl to fit, and then putting on a new Armor Ply reinforcement for the hinge. All right, now we folded the bulkhead together and we've got the back side of it here up so that we can cut a section of vinyl to fit our application, and then what we're going to do is heat weld it down. Again, you can use staples to help hold it into place. As you can see, we've repaired the cut hinge. The great thing about having these tools and the ability to perform these tasks is that you can repair just about any bulkhead on the market today. You can add years of useful life to your insulated bulkheads and get more return on your original investment.